Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined by Ronan. How are you, Ronan?
How are we?
And Mark.
Ryder Cup fever, alive and well.
Are we sick of it yet? Are we sick of the preview stuff yet? Because it does get it.
I am absolutely sick to high heavens of it. Like, Jesus Christ.
So there's nothing like another mass. That's how we said. So we decided to do a preview pod to the Ryder Cup on the Wednesday of the week, rather than doing it on the Monday, because it's just trying to get a feeling. And then the weather closes in, and half of it gets cancelled, and all the start of the week, so we might as well get stuck in anyway. But anything else going on in your lives? How have you been the last week? We didn't log on last week. I know you were up the north. We have a bit to talk about the north as well, Ronan, but all else good?
Yeah, just busy witnessing history. Don't know about you guys.
Witnessing history? What, Liverpool last night?
No. Well, first time I ever saw someone get sent off for taking their shirt off for a tap-in in the third round of the Carabao Cup.
That's history, all right. The history of stupid gobshites. Right, anyway, before we get into that, this podcast is brought to you by Flowgas. Visit flowgas.ie for all of your household, commercial, business needs, solar, gas, electricity, solar, the big three, lads. I was going to test you, but it's a bit late in the evening. You're not looking the sharpest this evening, so we won't test you on that, but yeah. We say it every week. Flowgas support every level of Irish golf. Do give them a chance. Visit flowgas.ie and all your power needs. So right, Ryder Cup. Where do we start with this? Our time, our place.
Oh God, can we not just start? Can we not just do a podcast on Friday when it actually starts? It's all absolute guff. Other than where the 200 grand is going for the Americans,
but that's what I was gonna like. It's top of my list. It is top of my list. All the talk at the start of the week is just about money. I have never seen so many lads go into a media center and squirm and try and get their story. Like, they had a year to prepare. Just these storylines of getting paid, where the money goes, what they're doing, and they've totally dropped the ball on it.
They had a year to prepare, and Patrick Cantley still comes out with, "Oh yeah, my cap didn't fit."
Yeah, it's just blatant. It's like, I don't know. The words fail me.
The only ones that have spoken on it have said they're all giving the money to charity. I honestly think this is a complete non-story. I don't. It's been. I was waiting for it, hoping that there was going to be some fireworks, or hoping somebody was going to ask the questions. And after the first, I think it was Scheffler and Cantley were the first two I'd seen that were asked about it, and I don't think anybody else was asked after that, were they?
Well, Bradley was asked first in his, and he gave the most nondescript, just crap answers, and it just didn't float. It didn't go down well.
I like the way Scheffler handled it. Scheffler turned to the journalist and says, I'm not sure if we've ever met before." Like, just stared straight at him. "I'm not sure if we've ever met before, but I don't like to talk about what I do with my money," or something along those lines. But then he says, "But it is all going to be donated, and it's all going to be like stuff close to my home or close to my area or whatever like that." And he says, but I don't do any charitable work for recognition, so we can more or less leave it there. And I think Scheffler actually kind of diffused the whole thing straight away. And then Cantley was next up, and Cantley sat there with like this little grin on him the whole way through it, because he knew that question was coming. And once it did come, he just says, "Yeah, I'm giving it all to charity," and then that was the end of it.
Done. Yeah.
I'd love to see, like, is there ever a way of proving that someone gave to charity? Cantley and Scheffler are right up there. I want to see a school in Dallas, wherever he's going. I want to see a new school this time, 12 months.
Yeah. There's no way Xander and Cantley are giving 200 grand away. Not a hope. Not a hope. Ahead. No way. No way.
Like they said The Wire, you follow drugs, you get drug dealers and drug takers. You follow the money, there's no telling where it's going to go.
No,
well, that's your next line of inquiry, Ronan.
No, but it is like, I don't know, like, it is a bit of it's going to be a real weird build-up now with the opening ceremony. Like, we're recording this on Wednesday evening. Opening ceremony is only a couple of hours away. I don't know what the point of an opening ceremony is with no announcing of the teams. It's like I've been to a few of these in the past, and they're pretty non-events outside.
It's an absolute blessing. It's an absolute blessing. This storm coming in, whatever. That means that the only reason I ever tuned into the opening ceremony was to hear who the opening foursomes were going to be, and now I don't need to go anywhere near it. It's brilliant.
Yeah. No, it is. It's just the only pity I'd say about the weather is the Junior Ryder Cup. Like it's putting that seriously in doubt if the weather does come in, and you'd be devastated if you're doing 2 rounds on the other course. You're meant to play the Ryder Cup course on the Thursday, and then it gets washed out. So that's in a bit of doubt. But it'd be a bit disappointing.
Yeah, poor old John Doyle.
Yeah, no, it's
doing well yesterday. Got a point on the board.
Yeah, see, they're only a point behind going into today's matches. They're all out on the course now at present. But no, listen, it's good experience for them. But anyway, open ceremony brought forward. There's going to be serious crowd disruptions around. Like USA being at home, they're upping the ante on trying to rile the crowd up. Like 9/11 survivors were out doing talks in the first tee the other day with Team USA. Trump's coming on Friday. It's just classic USA prep. But it's got like by all accounts, it's just going to be absolute mayhem on Friday. With his whereabouts, where he's going, what they're doing, sort of bubble wise, they've created a bubble around like the 18th green, the clubhouse, all that, and it's going to be like getting through an airport with a bomb scare going on in the airport. That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I think Long Island isn't the easiest place to get onto anyway if you're coming from anywhere that's not Long Island. So yeah, Friday morning traffic, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. And then, as you said, add in the whole Trump circus and everything, all the extra security, everything. I'd say if you're looking to be there for the first tee, you'd nearly want to be doing what they do to get around on the golf course and being there camping overnight.
No, it is. No, but let's get stuck into the lay of the land. Like, I don't know, there's so many angles and ways you can go at this, but looking at the stats will tell you, we like 8 of the 9 last Ryder Cups have been won by home teams. The USA has not won away since 93. We've only won 4 in the history of it, and as you see by the motivational videos, which I thought were class actually, of that like a nod to the past and stuff like that. Like only 34 players in the history of the Ryder Cup from Europe have actually won away from home, which is mad to think that it's such a tight number of players. But are we expected to lose this based on the stats or based on where we're at, or are we underdogs? Are we favourites? What's the feeling you guys are getting about this, Ronan? What do you think it is?
I'm sure we're probably outsiders in the bookies, but I think Europe are the better team, so they're favourites in my eyes. This is the problem with all the guff you get in the pre-Ryder Cup. Everyone's talking about home advantage and the way the golf course is going to be set up. Like all the European players are playing on the PGA Tour, and like they're talking about wanting this thing to be, drive it long, hit it in the rough, it doesn't matter. Well, like behind Bryson DeChambeau, the next 4 longest hitters playing this week are all European. So, and like they're talking about, they want to get wedges in the Americans' hands as much as possible. When America come over here, we want to take wedges away from them as much as we can. I think the European players some of them are better suited to playing defensive golf, which is why we still dominate over here. But I think this team going over to New York to a Bethpage Black, which is going to be playing pretty easy, it's going to be a birdie fest. They may get rid of that sign they have on the first tee. I think anybody can play really Bethpage Black this week. I think Europe in a great place, and I expect them to win.
Yeah, the course fit, like on the course, before we get stuck into that, like it's not a typical US Open setup that we've seen at this venue before, obviously. Like it's wider, lighter rough. Pins are not tucked. We know the 5 pin positions. They're all out practicing them. I'm a big fan of that because from a match play point of view, I agree with them setting up the course like that, encouraging aggression off the tee and in your approach play. Like we want birdies, we want drama. I just think the US team, apart from maybe Morikawa, just fancy themselves as better putters than us. I think that
I don't know. All the Justin Rose said it in Hazeltine in 2016. I think it was like all the pins were like pro-am pins.
Yeah, and that's what this is going to be like.
Yeah, well, you're right about Morikawa. The Americans probably do think they're better putters than us, but I think we've more of an intimidating team. I think like there's no one really outside of maybe Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and then Schauffele, and then maybe Cantlay on his own. I think anyone would spank. Cantlay with Schauffele is a different story. I don't think there's anyone there to fear from a European point of view. Like you're missing I don't know, just the X factor kind of guys. I know Bryson will bring it, but you're missing Keegan Bradley. Like the bottom line is one of America's best players is watching from the sidelines this week. You got Patrick Reed, who in this environment would have been ideal. You got Koepka, who brings an intimidation factor. All right, fair enough. Hasn't played well this year. Didn't deserve to be on the team. But like, come on, like Ben Griffin, Harris English, Russell Henley. Russell Henley is number 3 in the world. How is that possible? Like there isn't really anybody on that American team to fear outside of maybe 3 guys.
One of the rookies I would fear. I'm very fearful of JJ Spawn going into this. I do think Spawn will do damage, and Cam Young as well. Like in a match play situation, I don't know what it is about him. I just think, but yeah, based on what we said a few minutes ago, USA, they are like it's marginal, but they are clear favourites. They're 4-6 on with Paddy Power. Europe are 13-8. A draw is 11-1. I think a draw is an unbelievably good bet because I do think this will be so tight. I think 11-1 is very generous on that.
Yeah, oh geez, I didn't realize 11-1 was a draw. I might have a bit of that actually myself. But I got a little bit into the weeds and the stats earlier on, and across the board, on average per player, America are very slightly better in every single metric, but it's only very slight. So small, it's not really worth mentioning. Says I after mentioning it, but comparing that to previous Ryder Cups, obviously where they've come in with a much stronger team on paper. So like Europe have absolutely nothing to fear that way. It's just really the crowd is going to be the big thing. That's the golf course setup, like equally beneficial to both teams. I think it's typically a long, tough golf course, but with the rough cut down, the fairways wide, so many of the tees moved up so they can get grandstands in and around them. It's going to be playing an awful lot easier. It's definitely a birdie fest type golf course, as you said. So they've got absolutely nothing to fear that way. It's just a case of going out and playing the golf because they're all very well capable of it. Long gone are the days when Europeans were used to playing on greens that were rolling at like 9 on the stem meter, and they come over and they're faced with greens that are running 11.5, 12. They're all playing with these fast greens all the time. They're all very comfortable with it. It's really going to come down to probably who holds a couple of more putts, who chips in, who's something really small like that. So, as the away team and as the underdog, if we're talking about that fine of margins, then you have to fancy your chances. Like,
yeah, I really do fancy. Like they will step up to the plate. Like experience just counts for so much, and they have even with Rasmus. Like Rasmus was in the team room 2 years ago. He's there. He knows exactly. There's nothing he's seeing this week for the first time. So even in that experience, like it's been covered off so well. I just with the day on Thursday now being looking like it could be a write-off and they won't get near the golf course. I just get the feeling with like Europe have need to be like not be careful about it, but they've out prepared them again going 2 weeks. Like they've been on the ground for the guts of 2 weeks over there. Like the night Wentworth finished, they all got in a jet, went across as a group, and they've been in around New York for the last couple of weeks doing that. They've played the course a lot of times.
They've been there a lot longer than that. The VR. They're there about a month
the VR
at this
as well.
stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nonsense.
Did
when
you
you think of it
ever
as well.
hear
It's
a
nonsense.
bigger load of shite than that?
It
is
is
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. No, I agree with that. But I don't know. Luke Donald, just in getting everyone to buy into that, to go a week and a half, 2 weeks before this tournament and get it done, could be a massive difference with no golf the day before the tournament, because I've no doubt both teams know exactly who they're going with. Pretty much like the whole of the first day, if not the whole of the first day and second day, and they're just jostling who goes in which position, as in first team, second team, third team, fourth team out, and how they go about that. But yeah, I just get the feeling that the Europeans will settle into this a lot quicker, and I was shocked that the US are going to lead with foursomes.
Yeah, well, they've done that in every previous Ryder Cup in the States. They've always led with foursomes. So
I just thought they'd flip it.
Yeah, I mean, look, 2 years ago we had this conversation. You were saying that you thought it was a masterstroke by Luke Donald to change and put the foursomes first, and I poured cold water all over it, saying it was it was going to make fuck all difference. And then Europe went out and won all 4 of the foursome sessions, and I was forced to eat my words a little bit. But I'm going to double down on it. I'm going to say that the order isn't really going to be that big of a difference, because in was it in Hazeltine? I think it was in Hazeltine. Europe won the first session, and then America won all 4 of the 4-ball matches in the afternoon. And Europe went from being 3-1 up to being 5-3 down. I think I did look this up earlier on, and I noted it down, and I have lost my notes. So, but yeah, on that, you have to play the 2 sessions anyway. I don't really think it's going to make a big difference whether it's foursomes first or 4-ball first.
Yeah, I think it does.
What did
looking
you say,
at session
Mark?
1.
Did you say did you say Europe won the first session in Hazeltine?
Yeah, they got tonked 4-0.
No, it was one of the other and the foursomes.
Yeah,
they lost the
first.
Sorry,
yeah,
2014.
That was the point I had written down. Actually, sorry, was that they won the foursomes, and that set them up. And you had something about Hazeltine written down.
We've done well. Like Europe have done well, and you go 2014 session 1, 2.5, 1.5 to the States. 2016 4-0 to the States. 2018 3-1 to the States. 2021 3-1 to the States. Then 23 4-0. But then Europe have bounced back in winning pretty much all the afternoon sessions bar 2021 when it was 3-1. But yeah, like it's overall in the first session it's 12.5, 7.5 over the last Ryder Cups in the opening session to the States. And the Europeans have won 14-6 in the last Ryder Cup on session 2 in the afternoon. I would have thought that they would have went with 4 balls first. I just think with so much continuation of what Luke Donald was able to do before, like there's nothing to stop Luke Donald. Just the temptation is there just to copy and paste the pairings from Rome and go. I do think we'll see different partnerships, but like the temptation is there, and like no matter who they put out, we'll probably have 2 if not 3 pairs who go out who have never lost foursomes. I just think it's a big gamble at home, and like there's a massive. I know like the importance of the first session, that leader and chaser mentality, what your team is going into the afternoon and the Saturday of wit. Like it just a start is so big. The winner of the first point, like the very first match, the first point is so important. 5 of the last 7 Ryder Cups, the winner of the first point have won the Ryder Cup. I just think it's huge, and I think he's taking a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, but is it not?
I think we'll outforce them.
Is it not a bit easier to chase in 4 balls than it is in foursomes? So you're playing the harder game
it
first.
Would be. Yeah, but
I do.
If it goes wrong,
I agree with what you said about the start. Like Europe fast starts are obviously key here, and I know Europe have done well to, regather themselves after poor morning sessions, but I think it's like more important than a quick start is Europe stopping the USA having a quick start. Like if Europe come out with a loss of a session and a half session, that would be the bare minimum of what you'd expect.
And it's the home away thing. It's very tough to claw something back away from home. Like, you need to see something really special away from home to do it. I've been lucky to be at a couple of away Ryder Cups and been at one that we've won as well, like back in 2004, and that was they just crushed them from the off, like Tiger and Phil out first. It was just an absolute disaster for the Yanks. But it's and literally every session they just kept their foot in the throat, just kept going, and they by the end of the week, the crowd, they'd flipped the narrative of the crowd and turned like everyone on site had a European autograph and were fans of the European players, and they're trying a little bit of that at the start of this week. You can see them on TV, and I experience is going to count for a lot here. And I do fancy the Europeans just to go toe-to-toe across the board. It's going to be so hard to get that 14 and a half points to get the job done. But I can't see them being really far away. Like I don't think there's going to be more than a half a point max in this at the end of the week. It's not going to be a big landslide one way or the other. And that's why I just think a draw at 11-1 is just well overpriced.
Well, fingers crossed. I really hope you're right, because it's the thing we've missed since obviously since Medina. The last 5 have all been complete blowouts. So I mean, I don't care who wins. I'd rather
you just want drama.
I'd rather see Europe edge it if it's close, but I'd rather the Yanks win a close one than Europe win a landslide, and that's just purely from a spectating and entertainment point of view.
Are you going along the lines of it's an exhibition? Is that what you're saying? That's very Rory McIlroy of you to say.
Well, I mean, haven't never played in one myself, and look, the chances are I probably missed my chance at this stage. Yeah, I'm an Irishman. I don't identify as European.
You're playing in the Golf Writers match in a couple of weeks' time. That is the Ryder Cup.
Exactly. That's a different story. Yeah, that's the real quiz.
Never won on any soil. We haven't.
No, never won.
Let alone home and away. We just never won. That's it. Just full stop. But no, it's interesting to see it's interesting to see the dynamic of how different the teams and the groupings we sent out, like Europe sent out on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. The Americans have kind of kept the same groupings and pods together. Europeans have mixed it up a bit, like, you'd Shane and Rory playing a match yesterday against lads, and whereas today they're split up, where you have Tyrrell, Lowry, Rahm and Sepp Straka going out. Then you had Fitzy, Hovland, Bob Mack and Rory, and then you had Ludwig, Fleetwood, Rasmus and Rose out today together. So the way the Europeans they've not really shown too much here as to who is going to marry up with who, leaving guys asking a lot of questions. But it's pivotal how Luke Donald actually sends these guys out. Like, it's not just the pairings, it's the position of the pairings. Like, I always, and listening to some analysis on it earlier today as well, and guys rightly highlighting, like, match 3 in the first morning and in the afternoon is always kind of a pivotal match as to how the morning pans out. And I know you can look at it from both ways, but like, you can lose the first 2 and still change the narrative of what's coming by someone in your third match actually dragging the last match in with them nearly and giving them something to hang on to. So I don't know who you think will lead out the European team tomorrow. I know we can't predict pairings or what we'll do, but it wouldn't surprise me to see McIlroy and Fleetwood go out first.
I don't think in any of the
Ludwig and Victor, you think, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Ludwig and Victor will definitely play foursomes again. They're their games match up perfectly. They were a fantastic foursomes pair. I mean, who could ever forget the 9 and 7 that left Scheffler in tears? Like, I think Ludwig and Victor are definitely going to play together in foursomes, and I think Rory and Tommy are going to definitely play together in foursomes. And I can't see any way that Rahm and Hatton don't play together again in foursomes. So that's 3 out of the 4 from Marco Simone straight away. In terms of the order, I don't think Rory's ever led out a foursomes or 4-ball session. I could be wrong on that. Ronan, go on, fact check me again.
No, I think you're right. I think he's always been 2 or 3. I think he's always been in the middle of the thing.
Sure,
he's like to go out first in singles, but
one time he was offered to go out first in singles and he turned it down.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was late one time as well.
Yeah. I think Rahm and Hatton will lead them out. Actually,
do you? Yeah, and I do think we'll see. I would have like Ludwig and Victor. Unbelievable pairing. Like when you look at the stats of it, you talk about winning matches and winning things. They've only lost 2 holes. They've won 16 holes and they've only lost 2 holes as a partnership. Like, it's incredible. So I just think their stats in the last 2 years, they're not quite. They are 2 lads going out with targets on their backs. And that is the same type of, I don't know, these 2 guys are going out and they're going to enjoy playing each other, but they just will not have it the way they had it before. I'd fear for them as a pairing if they go out first. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I do think at some stage this week you're going to see Ludwig pair up with Rasmus. I don't know what it is about it. I just like I like what Rasmus would bring to the table with that ahead of Victor, but maybe that's for 4 balls, not foursomes. But like, you can guess on all these things and hearsay and all this, but I just think the amount of experience going across what we're going through on the European side, it's nearly too much choice. And I do think Luke Donald will hit the copy paste on a lot of what he's done before, but he'll change the orders up.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think
Larry Straka's a great one as well. Like,
I don't think we're going to see Larry and Straka this time round. I don't think we're going to see Straka in the foursomes, not on the first day anyway.
No, we'll see him in 4-ball, I'd say.
But do you think Larry plays? Look, everybody's going to play on the first day. I think that's been a thing that they've done in every Ryder Cup recently.
Since Brookline, I think they've done that.
So does Larry play in the foursomes?
No. I don't think he does. I think he comes out in the afternoon on Friday with Sepp Straka, 2 of the best ball strikers going, and they've something going.
I think Larry does, because I mean, putting has been his biggest weakness. We all know that. Like in foursomes, he's only going to have to hit half the putts. His approach play has been a major strength. So if you take the likes of and I wrote a thing earlier on where I tried to predict who was going to play, and I actually think we're going to see Lowry and Rose play together maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I love the idea of Lowry hitting the ball onto the green and Rose taking the putts for him. Now I know obviously on the flip side you've got Rose hitting the ball.
You got Rose hitting the approaches and Larry missing the putts. But that'll get sour very quick. That'll age like milk, that one.
But I mean, Larry, as we all know, Larry tends to run a little bit hot. Tends to get very frustrated with himself, and I just think that Rose is the perfect guy to be there along with him to talk him back off the ledge, kind of like,
pour a bit of Kool-Aid over him, keep him out of car parks, pour a bit of Kool-Aid over him, just keep him from attacking lads. But he's a great man. That, like, the one constant, there's very few, I would say, lads on the squad, the European squad, in the category of a Shane Lowry that you could probably pair with pretty much all of the other players. And there's a dynamic there. It speaks volumes as to what he is.
Fleetwood and Hovland, I would put in that same bracket as well. But yeah, and actually Rose as well. You'd have to say the same for Rose.
Yeah, it's just no, it is. It's going to be intriguing. Like, it's going to be really, really interesting. There's a few things that have stuck out that they haven't done. I don't know. Like, they're going big, obviously, on the apparel, on the 4 away wins that they've had, and marrying stuff across. I don't know. I love the hat tip to like of Eamon Darcy and stuff like that on the videos. I like all that. I like there is power in the details in what they do, and it's a McGinley playbook of all of these things. Even the bottom of the bags with all the scores and the dates they're just focused on away wins. Wouldn't surprise me if they have a load of those old players that they fly a good few of them in to have team room interaction, kick Gianfranco Zola out, don't know why he's there, and get like a few of the older guys in the dressing room just telling stories about different things. I do like the way they've de-sevied it a little bit. They've taken it away from pinning it onto one man in the way they have, but there's still enough of that there to honour him in that way. But it was a strange one to see someone like Billy Foster taken to the internet 2 weeks ago looking for corporate work at the Ryder Cup. Interesting that he wouldn't have been asked into the team room, because he's a great lad for stories and in between matches and just keeping guys going and stuff like that. And then when you see Nicholas Colsaert's coming out and, you know, he's not travelled, been quite vocal about stuff, they've fairly pulled the shutters down on guys you would expect to be in on the mix in here, and it's quite cold.
Because Colsaert was
at the
there
same time,
in
Billy Foster did. And Billy Foster did get fired by one of them recently and came out and says, "Oh yeah, it's always the caddy's fault. Player plays shite and blame the caddy." I'd say it's no major surprise that he's not in there.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. He brings a lot to the table with that, the connections and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, it's a pity. But no,
I was disappointed that Nicholas wasn't there now, because he seemed like the absolute mayor of the crack in Marco Simone. He was out getting the crowd all geared up, and I know it's obviously going to be an American crowd this time around, but I reckon he'd be well fit to handle them.
Yeah,
it's a big unit as well. Get him out there, intimidation factor.
He is a big unit. But no, like, do you feel like we'll wrap up the Ryder Cup chats in a second on it, but like, from me looking at it, all the pressure's on America to perform here. And that's the way I think the underdog mentality that Europe have managed to eke out in this will be very valuable going in. Like, they will be all about just quietly trying to quieten this crowd down, because it's going to be mayhem Friday morning. There's no better experience, as you know, Ronan, as well. Like, there is no better experience than first tee, first morning of the Ryder Cup. It's the closest thing to last minute winners in football matches. It's just so special. It's so mad to experience it. But yeah, I just all the pressure's on them, and if Europe can get in early doors and just ask a few questions, put a few points on the board, especially in New York, the whole Donald Trump thing, all that as well happening that day, they have a chance to poke the bear early doors and lay a marker. And I just think the experience that we have, they won't panic. They I've in the words, I got a good feeling about this. I got a good feeling in those famous words.
I'd agree,
exactly.
to be honest. Like I don't know if you've been watching the two social media accounts for each team, but Europe are really pushing the whole brotherhood thing, like McIlroy tying Rasmus Højgaard's tie and everything. Like, and even like even without that, I know Mark hates it, but even without that, you can just imagine that the US lads are all sitting in the dressing room, but they're in like little groups. There's 2 here and there's 2 over there. There might be 3 lads over there. Then there's probably Russell Henley talking to nobody. Whereas you do feel like the Europeans are all making an effort to, you know, I suppose, get to know someone who they wouldn't normally hang around with on tour. And also, just another thing,
question,
that Junior Ryder Cup thing has been. They're not playing the singles on Bethpage now. They're playing it at Nassau Country Club.
Oh God, love them.
Poor JD isn't getting
that's
a big break.
horrendous. That's so bad.
John
That's
Doyle
so
should be
bad.
made fly home into school
Tonight.
Friday morning for double maths.
That's a sickener on the. I knew they'd do something. That's what I was fearful. I'm glad I mentioned at the start. That's shocking. That's bad.
It is.
But,
that's very disappointing now.
So be it. But
still, I don't have to watch the opening ceremony, so I'll still take the positives out of it.
Right, call it, lads. What do you think, Mark?
Right, I'm gonna go. I flip flopped. God knows how many different times in this. Right, I'm going Europe by a point. 14.5, 13.5.
Yes. Ronan.
Europe by 2.
Really?
It's only a point in the difference.
15.
Yeah,
15, 13.
15.
Yeah.
Like that means we're pretty close to a tie here. Like there's be one match to decide whether it's a tie or a loss.
Yeah, I would love to see Europe win, but I just think it'll be a tie. I'm gonna go for a draw, and then
you're not allowed. You're not allowed. Make a fucking decision.
What do you mean them? What do you mean them feckers? You're a big European man.
Make a decision.
Man.
Yeah,
you're a big European fan. Yeah, Europe.
Sorry. No, it's retain the trophy. Like there's a difference in retaining it and winning it. Like but it's just.
Don't tell Leon
I think it'll be a draw. Yeah. I think it'll be a draw. We'll end up that's good. The three of us think we're keeping the trophy, but I did not expect the two of you to say Europe are going to win.
I was very close to changing.
Well, right?
Yeah, I could have just easily been 14.5, 13.5 the other way. What about Bryson?
Over 3 draws.
What about
draws?
Bryson? Does Bryson play foursomes? Do you reckon? I'm begging. I'm praying that he does.
I think he does with Justin Thomas.
Outrageously good fun.
I think him and Justin Thomas.
Did you read my piece earlier on? Did you?
No.
I made a big push for that.
I think I didn't read honestly, but I've been reading stuff online from the stateside, and it does seem to be something that they might lead with that.
Yeah,
or they could go with Scheffler Henley.
Thomas is the perfect man. He loves all that whooping and hollering, and like the two of them would be just like they'd be like they'd be like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage running down either side of the ropes, just like
the Ultimate Warrior
high-fiving everybody in the fence. Yeah,
right. Let's draw a line under the Ryder Cup stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait on it. But you witnessed a bit of history over the weekend, Ronan, last week with Raf going on and doing the provincial slam. What was that like with watching Caolan Rafferty win the North?
Yeah, it was cool. Now I have to say, got it just in the nick of time as well. There wasn't much light left, but he did it. He didn't make it easy on himself, which I suppose always makes it sweeter in the end. He dropped a couple of shots, as you naturally would, trying to play 36 holes in one day. Mistakes creep in, and pars 16 and then goes up 17, hits 2 perfect shots, and hadn't really held anything all day and just drills this putt into the back of the hole. Played 18 beautifully as well, hit a second shot to the back of the green, left himself a routine too, but like it was nice to see that it wasn't just myself or a couple of others that knew what was going on. Even the lads who were in contention and were in like a 2 under par waiting for him to make a mistake to try force a playoff, they were out watching. The group ahead of him who'd finished didn't go in to sign their cards. They waited until he'd finished because they wanted to see what was happening as well. And like all of his family had travelled up on the day too. So it was just a perfect end to, I suppose, the Irish amateur golfing season really, but like absolutely deserved. Like his longevity in the game is outstanding, and we've said it for years on this podcast, and he probably had to because he doesn't win too often, but when he plays he's rarely outside the top 10, and like he's got himself back into the Ireland setups this year at the European teams. He's going to the World Amateur Team Championships as well. So like this is a fella, it's not like he's just burst from the pack and won the one that he needed out of nowhere. Like he's been at the top of his game since he won the South.
It's an incredible achievement. to win all four. It like never been done before. You know, when we think about the great players that have gone through the amateur system under the GUI at the time and through the Golf Ireland into Golf Ireland now, it's incredible to think that no one has ever done this. When you think of all the JB Carr records and the Jimmy Brew and stuff and all these greats back in the day, and then to Harrington and McIlroy and guys like that, you know, some of them didn't hang around long enough to do it, or but it is an unbelievable, like, it's a lifetime achievement written in history. First man to do this, and to do it in a year as well that McIlroy completes a Grand Slam. And I know guys were writing about it and calling it the Compass as well, the Compass Slam, doing the 4 points of the compass. But it really is like, it's hard to explain how difficult it is and how good it is to win, because they're not all stroke play events. Obviously, you have a mix of match play, you have a bit of luck involved in them as well in some of them, but incredible achievement.
Yeah, and he went wire to wire as well. Like, he was out at 7:30 on the Wednesday morning, I think it was, shot 3 under, played the first 6 holes in just torrential rain, and still managed to go around in 68. Went up to Portrush to do a ping fitting back to the day job as it was. And, his score wasn't caught for the day, and there he was, 3 under par, proved enough at the end of it as well. But like you were saying there about the names who haven't quite done it, Hugh Foley, obviously one of his peers, couldn't win the East. But then again, never really played in the East either, so you'd wonder how much that was on his mind. But obviously the Norths got away from Joe Carr and Barry Redden and Mark Gannon. You know, Darren Clark, all he needed was the West to win the Grand Slam, but he won the Norths and South in the same year. Gareth McGimpsey and David Long and Arthur Pierce didn't win the South. So, like, a lot of big names who have tried and failed, or maybe tried and, you know, not travelled to certain events. But for Rafferty to stick it out, it's fantastic.
Yeah. No, it is incredible. It is. It's something. I know we've big plans to do stuff with him when he's back from a little trip that he's going on next week. So yeah, we've big stuff coming with Raf to market properly and have a proper catch up with him. But I'm looking forward to that. Anything else of note happen over the last week?
Yeah, Lauren Walsh is continuing to play well on the LET. She finished second at the Swiss Open a fortnight ago. That's her highest finish in the LET to date. And then she finished fifth then at La Sella in Spain last week. So she's up to 11th in the LET order of merit now. Top 10 at the end of the season gets her straight into the AIG Women's Open next year, and gets her straight to the final stage of LPGA Q School. So that's going to be a big carrot for her now for the rest of the season. And good week for Annabelle Wilson as well. She finished 19th, lifts her up to 84th, I think it is, in the order of merit. So again, for any rookie, keeping your card is the number one goal. And so again, a good week towards doing that. We'd very little then in terms of on the men's pro side last week. Bad week for Connor Purcell at the French Open the Open de France, and I think was it 5 lads? All 5 lads missed the cut on the Hotel Planner Tour. So it's getting slightly worrying that
squeaky bum time.
And Max Kennedy both looked, had put themselves in strong position to finish inside that top 20, and now they're kind of looking in their rearview mirrors a little bit at the top 45 in the rankings and a place in the grand final. So
don't say that. I've just penciled in to go to that.
Yeah, no, they won't. Yeah, so they've 2 big weeks at the end of the season. So they've China, then they have that, and they're both like double points events, big money events. So yeah, they'll get it done. They'll get it done.
Yeah. Well, look, fingers crossed. We're always optimistic here at Irish Golfer.
Yeah, exactly. With the European Mid-Am won bronze, the men and the women won bronze as well last week. So fair play to them. And big achievement on that.
But Ireland won the senior homes.
Yeah.
So they won. I think they end up winning they end up winning the men's, the women's, and then the 2 combined put together. So they did the treble in one weekend.
Yeah, and a comeback or to play England in the last day, beat them and overtake them is it's always going to be a little bit sweet.
We've had a few fallers at Q School as well, just to go into that. I know we're only like 3 weeks into stage 1 qualifier. I know my own club man, Rob Brazel, got close the week before last and fell at the last hurdle in just a tough final round. But like, we've had a few guys progress on, some fall off. Where are we at with that? Because I know we've Alex Maguire out this week and a few others.
Yeah, so there's actually, after this week, there's only one event left in the stage 1 qualifiers. So this week we got Rob Moran's in good shape at halfway stage, and he's playing in Denmark. He's fifth place. There's top 14 in ties qualifying, and the event in the stage 1 qualifier in Austria is only after kicking off today, and it kind of got slightly washed out. So Mark Power is in with a 3 under that has him in second place at the moment. But in previous weeks, with Hugh Foley, John Ross Galbraith, David Carey, Tom Dowdall, Cormac Sharvin, and Paul McBride have all safely advanced on to stage 2, and there'll be a few other lads entering at stage 2. I'm not haven't seen the entry list for those yet, but yeah, it's optimistic. We've got so far 6 through, and hopefully maybe 8 through after this week. Maybe even 10 through after this week.
A lot more to do.
Perfect, right. Anything else you want to hit on before we get into heroes and villains, lads?
No. I think
that covers it.
I was going to say something else about the North, but I better leave it.
Go on.
We're ending on a positive note. I won't drown the mood.
Oh no, well, you still a chance. Like, you're down as one of my villains for an NR in the qualifier, so we might as well get straight stuck into this. So you tried to qualify for the North up in Galgorm, and you went up. I just couldn't find the score. I seen an NR beside your name, couldn't work it out. Didn't want to. So you're down as a villain for the WHS dodging.
Yeah, I know. I handed the card in, but I had to explain that I lost the ball like
just
5 yards off. Ball plugged 5 yards off the fairway, and I just said to your man, who was in position to qualify, I was like, I'm not going back to the tee with 3 fellas standing there. Let's just keep going. You make your par, son. So I did it for him.
So you took one for the team, and he got in then. For the
team, and he did get in.
That's that team player.
I was happy with how I played, but pissed off to not find the ball in the last and have to NR. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, listen, another day. But that's I was only messing. You're not one of my villains, so I want to nominate.
No, it's 2. It's fine. I'll remember.
You'll take it on the chin.
There'll come a day.
You're my villain for asking me what you should hit off the first, and I said drive her up over the corner. What did you do? You hit hybrid. You chickened out.
This is about 5 minutes before I was supposed to tee off, and I played Galgorm maybe like 2 years ago, and I remember there's a big massive dog leg to the right, and so I'm obviously nervous, and I was like, oh geez, I don't want to like wing one right and out of bounds, and you might as well just pack up and go home. So I texted Mark, what am I supposed to hit off here? You've been here like 14 times in the last 2 months. And he goes, drive her straight over. And I saw the 2 boys playing with me. They took out hybrids. And I was like, right, there's a bunker down the left here. I'm just aiming straight at that. If I top it, sky it, or go straight into it, I don't care. He actually had a good shot. But
that's the mentality.
Mark will never make it as a caddy, I don't think.
No, stop. No, well, so I've 2...
You'll never make it as a player unless I'm caddying for you.
I've 2 actual nominations for the Gary Player Villain of the Week. So Brandel, for his smack talk about Bryson, just total dig at Liv, going on about bots and views and questioning his YouTube thing. Like, there's just a bang of just pure jealous old man off these statements. And I actually like what Brandel brings to the table. I like watching him and McGinley going head to head, but I just think he was so off the mark with his comments, and he was just so petty, and he just wants a dig at Liv. It's just not the week for it. Just do it a different week. He's on your side this week. There is no need for it. So I thought that was petty.
I actually had Brandel down as a villain as well. I saw that and I thought that's just so over the top. He was like notable that he didn't mention I'm here to play for my team or anything this week. You were specifically asked about McIlroy's comments regarding you looking for attention. Like that was Brandel is high up there in my villain list quite often, so
yeah,
definitely have to go with you on that one.
My other one that I want to nominate then is the DP World Tour itself. I seen they announced their 2026 schedule, all good, like playing for record money, 42 tournaments across 25 countries, playing for like, I don't know why they have it in dollars when it's a European tour, but $157.5 million prize fund. They've named the Rolex Series, all Irish Open obviously isn't on it. But that's not why I'm nominated. It's more the narrowing of the field. We've just talked about Q School. I just don't like where it's going. Full card retention. The cutoff is reduced from 110 to 100 players on the Race to Dubai for getting your card. Conditional status, then the players ranked from 101 to 110 will move to category 18 below Q School graduates. So people coming through Q School, you think it's going to change your life. It was top 20 plus ties. It's now gone back to 15 plus ties. And they've cut the cards that you're going to get from the Hotel Planner Tour, the Challenge Tour, cut from 20 to 15 for next year as well. And the Road to Mallorca positions 16 to 20 will fall under category 19 and basically struggle to get back onto the Challenge Tour. It just all seems they're going very global with it, which I get, but it's at the detriment of home-based players, like the guys were saying, going through Q School and opportunity. Like they're opening up international pathways, which I get. So leading players from 6 tours will remain eligible for like category 17 cards and all that sort of jazz. And they've Sunshine Tour, Japan Golf Tour, Korean Golf Tour players, all that included in it. But yeah, this whole PGA Tour strategy of players being able to drop back is just really closing the net in an opportunity this side of the Atlantic, and I don't like it. So
yeah, I agree. Like when I was over in Portugal, I played pro-am with Ben Follett-Smith, and he actually earned his DP World Tour card at Q School last year, and he hasn't played in the DP World Tour in ages, and which meant because the card is so poor, he missed out on pretty much the bulk of the Hotel Planner Tour season, so he's been chasing his tail there. He's been playing Sunshine Tour, so I think he will have played 42 or 43 weeks this year of golf. Like he'll have played 22 weeks in a row, I think, by the time he's finished. But then he was saying how the Challenge Tour is going to be, or Hotel Planner Tour is going to be a lot harder now. They've cut the cards, as you said. But he was hoping that might equate to a better category via Q School for the DP World Tour, but that obviously might not be the case.
No, it's not the case. Yeah, it's sad. It's eroding. All of these pathways are just eroding. Even our own, like on the home bases, like with the Irish PGA region and stuff like that, and the playoffs apparently falling by the wayside of a pathway of order of merit winners to get in and try and win their place to get into like the BMW Wentworth and the Irish Open and stuff like that. All of these pathways are just eroding for just a big corporate global world tour, which I'm all for a world tour, but there has like these arteries and veins into professional golf and the pathways that have been laid out in there for so long just need to be preserved as much as possible, and they're just being eroded every year. And yeah, it's just not. I don't think it's a good look for European golf. And yeah, it's disappointing. So calling them out as villains.
Happy with
silence.
That.
Happy Who we that. Open it up
That's
to?
We're all in complete agreement on something for the first time ever in the history of the pod, I'd say.
So the DP World Tour, whoever the sanction makers of the cards are the ones who are getting the Gary Player Villain of the Week for this week. The Bryson and Chambly thing it's trivial in comparison.
Whoever sent the email confirming the schedule is the villain.
Whoever sent the email, exactly. Right, we get on to the press officer. Shoot the messenger. Right, the Paddy Harrington Heroes of the Week. Who's nominating people for heroes?
My hero is Victor Hovland. Simply because I've watched a lot of the live from the Ryder Cup this week and everything, and just any time the camera has been on him, he's just constantly smiling. He looks like he's having the best crack all the time. Whether he's on the range hitting shots and just chatting to people between shots, whether he's chipping, whether he's been interviewed, whatever he's done, he's just that man is a legend. He's just fantastic. So yeah, Victor Hovland, my hero of the week. And hopefully Victor Hovland, my hero next week as well.
Yeah, exactly. Ronan.
I've gone a bit rogue here with mine. But there's a good method to it.
Oh, good. I like that.
I've gone for Caolan McCanna.
Right.
You're like, who?
Yeah.
He was
Caolan McCanna, the fellow who nearly left you hanging on the first question last week.
Yeah. What a sound guy. But I think midway through his third round on the Friday, obviously it wasn't going well. And then he was like, I'm going off to get a sausage roll. So he recommended these sausage rolls in the halfway house. Unbelievable. Like 1 million out of 10. Absolutely sensational.
Greatest sausage rolls ever.
I had 4. No, genuinely unreal. And then he sent us a nice text, in fairness, and he said, thanks for everything this week. Your coverage was great. Great to have a friendly face around today, because, the final round did not go his way at all. And still, like, he was there chatting to everyone, appreciating the crowd, clapping for him and everything. So I just thought he was a good guy, because it could have been easy just to put your head down and soak away for 4.5 hours.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go to stereotypical hero as Raf. Like, I think it's unbelievable what he's achieved. Putting it in context of the amount of amateur golf I've watched over the last couple of decades of guys that have come close to that and not do it. And for him to be a career amateur, hold down a job like he is, family, doing what he's doing, kicking on. I just have so much admiration for guys like him and Collie Campbell, Stuart Graham, guys of that age that are juggling, playing at a top level with a family and a job. Just, I couldn't have any more admiration for guys that are cut from that cloth. And so Caolan, just for me, is just head and shoulders above any achievement I have ever seen in the amateur game like that. It's a phenomenal thing to do. And I know there's debates to have. There is the negative side of debates to have on strength of field, on what's done. But even if it's like the worst field ever, all the pressure that was going through his head to actually get over the line and beat 100 guys in a field like that, it's a phenomenal achievement. And yeah, long may it continue. Silence again.
Okay, so
silence again.
Who are we going for? Come on.
Well, I've given mine.
Yeah,
I wasn't listening.
We have to go for the sausage roll, man. After all, that. Sausage rolls wins.
Yeah.
Sausage rolls. Like,
hold on. Is it Caolan McCanna or the fellow that makes the sausage rolls?
It's both.
No,
they can half it.
It's Caolan
They can break Porrick Harrington in half
for the shout out.
Yeah,
because I had a Greg's yesterday and it was nowhere near as nice.
Yeah,
nowhere near as nice.
They're the Bret Hart of Bret Hart of sausage rolls. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Support your small local business sausage roll maker, not the large multinational chain.
Exactly. Right, I think we'll draw a line under it there, lads. Cheers for logging in. Cheers for you for tuning in. If you stayed this long, we'll name check next week the name of the sausage roll place if you want to get them.
It's just a halfway house in Port Stewart. That's all you need to do.
Oh, halfway house in Port Stewart.
Yeah, you don't even need to play a full 18. Just go as far as the 9th green. There you go.
Just pay for 9 and get the sausage rolls, or sneak out to the halfway house and just buy the sausage rolls.
Exactly.
Right, that's a wrap on that. Really looking forward to the Ryder Cup. I'm sure everybody listening is as well. So yeah, enjoy that, and we'll be back again next week, cutting the fat off what has happened over in Bethpage. Hopefully a win or a draw. I'd take a draw now that I'm going to back it. So yeah, don't take betting advice from me. Right, good luck. Bye.